worried about doing it the right way and making mommy and daddy happy and making everyone around you happy, instead of saying, you know what, am I happy? Am I actually happy in my life? Welcome to the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. This is your host, Kay Daniels, mama, wife, multi-business owner, and creator of the Breadwinner Energy movement. In this podcast, we're all about changing women's lives, especially those who do not grow up with perfect circumstances, by helping them step into their highest self era, break free from society's expectations, and become a force to be reckoned with. We help women embrace their powerhouse, most authentic energy, cultivate inner peace, and call in everything she has ever wanted in life. So if you're ready to become the breadwinner of your own life, join me on this journey of transformation, empowerment, and abundance. Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Hello, we are back, and today I'm going to talk about an episode that I did way back in the day. I think it's episode 4, of the entire podcast starting. I'm almost positive it's episode 4. It's called Scared Money Don't Make Money, and that was one of our most popular, most listened to episodes to this day from when I started my podcast years ago. And so today I'm going to do a reinvention of Scared Money Don't Make Money because I still stand by it. I still stand by the messaging, and it still is a topic that I talk about regularly in my life with people. And I think that what better time than now to bring back Scared Money Don't Make Money, because it's true. You have to be willing to risk and be risk adverse in order to make a lot of money. In order to be wealthy, in order to create generational wealth, you have to be willing to take risks. Now, I do think there's an in-between calculated risks and literally just jumping with nothing other than your beliefs in order to get somewhere. Because if you're only willing to play it safe, if you're only willing to play by the rules and do what everyone else expects of you, you will only get so far when it comes to making money, when it comes to financial wealth. And I want all of you here to make fuck you money. That's why we're here. And so you have to be willing to take risks, and you have to be willing to take risks that involve you not really knowing where you're going to land. You have to be willing to jump, and you have to hold beliefs that you're going to make this work, that you will be successful, that you will make a lot of money with little to no proof of that, right? So often I hear people tell me, I just want proof. I want to know it's going to work. And the only way to know and to have proof is to create it. The only way to have proof that something works is for you to go out and create proof for yourself. So I want to remind you that today, the things that you're willing to do today are going to be proof for your future self to believe in, right? But if you never go out and take action, you will not have the proof. You have to create it. So choose today to start creating proof for your future self. Now, the other part of Scared Money Don't Make Money is you have to be willing to invest. You have to be willing to, again, take risks and invest in yourself mentally, physically, and financially in order to get where you're going to go. You cannot expect to not invest and then get a return, right? In order for us to get a return, we must invest. Whether that's in stocks, whether that is, real estate, whether that is in a business, whether that is in self-development, you have to be willing to invest. And your investments won't just be your time. There will become a time where you've invested all the time that you can in all the free things and all of the free resources, and then you're going to have to be willing to pay money to get a return. And now, the thing is about paying money to get a return is it will condense the timeline, right? So if you're like, in 5 years, I want to be here, you can condense that timeline to 1 to 2 years by willing to invest, right? The bigger the investment, the bigger the reward. Most often not, right? And the bigger that you're willing to take a bigger risk, the bigger reward. We're not going to get massive rewards from $100, $500 courses. We just know we're going to get good information, but we're not going to get this big transformation. We're not going to change our life from a $500 course, or we're not going to change our life from, a podcast or a book even. Yes, it's going to be good information. Yes, it's going to be helpful on the journey, but it is not going to do a 360 in your life the way it would if you're willing to make bigger investments with your time and your money. So First and foremost, you have to be willing to take risks, big risks, and you have to be willing to believe in those risks. Number two, you have to be willing to invest your time. You have to be willing to invest your money. Now, number three, scared money don't make money. You have to be willing to stop being a good girl. You have to be willing to stop being a perfectionist, and you have to be willing to take risks and like be willing to fail. You have to be willing to do the hard thing. You have to be willing to believe in yourself when nobody else believes in you. This is one of the biggest blocks I think that are my women, my business owners, my clients have is my friends don't support me, my family doesn't support me, my partner doesn't support me, they don't see the dream, they don't see the vision. And I need you to clap for yourself. Because a lot of people will be willing to clap for you later in life, but we cannot be willing. We cannot be waiting. We cannot be waiting around for other people to clap for us. And also, I want you to ask yourself, are you out clapping for people early in their journey, right? Like the influencers you follow or the celebrities you follow or the big names, the athletes, like you're not clapping for them when they're in high school. You're clapping for them when they're D1 or you're clapping for them when they're a pro athlete, right? So you're asking people to do something of you that you're not doing, number one, for yourself, and you're not doing for other people. And you have to be willing to clap for yourself, cheer for yourself, believe in yourself before other people will believe in you. But you also need to be willing to stop being the good girl. Stop being a people pleaser. Stop being a perfectionist. Stop living for other people's expectations of you and start living for yourself, right? If you're a business owner right now, if you are an online business owner and you want to make a lot of money and you want to make a lot of impact, you have to stop blending in. You have to stop trying to fit in, and you need to be willing to stand out. You need to be willing to not be the good girl anymore. You need to be willing to say things that might ruffle some feathers, might piss people off, might get some unfollows, and there's a tasteful way to do this. There's a tasteful way to say, look, this is what I believe in wholeheartedly. This is my vision, my mission. These are my values. This is what I believe in, even if other people don't believe in it, but I believe in it. You have to be willing to stand on it. That is going to be what triggers people to unfollow you or triggers people to want to work with you. But you're not going to get that by blending in. You're not going to get that by playing it safe and doing what everyone else is doing and saying what everyone else is saying and then maybe saying something like this spicy, like we need to zoom in on this, something like tiny bit spicy where you're like, oh my God, like I said something controversial. No, you didn't. Like I'm literally telling people straight up, like fuck your mom, fuck your dad, fuck your family, fuck your friends, do what the fuck you want. Like I am saying things that are so controversial, right? I'm telling women to make fuck you money and not be willing to hide from it. I'm telling women to not allow basic ass shit in your life, right? I think that there's a difference between me empowering women to really stand into what they believe in, right? Women or people who don't like cussing, who don't like women who are loud or outgoing or have big personalities, who don't want to talk openly about money are going to unfollow me. They're going to be like, she is not for me. However, the women who are tuning in, who are like, yes, 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 this is me. I want to be this. I want this for my life. They're attracted to my brand, right? But I am creating those polar opposites for people to either say, no, this isn't for me and leave, or yes, it is for me. And I'm willing to stand in, this is what I forever believe, regardless of what other people say. You have to be willing to do that from a place of these are my values, right? Not from a place of let me go out and negatively trigger people to get a reaction out of people. There's a complete difference, right? You have to be willing to stand in your power and empower people to do what it is that you're teaching. You have to be able to do that and kind of disrupt their thinking, trigger their patterns, right? For so many of you, you've been taught to be the good girl, to be quiet, to fit in, don't be too loud, don't be too emotional, don't talk about money, to be a people pleaser, to not have boundaries, to not speak up, to not use your voice. And I'm here to tell you we're not doing that anymore. It is not going to help you in your journey. It's not going to make you more money. It's not going to make you more liked, to be honest. You're not going to like yourself. It leads to burnout. It leads to stress. It leads to chronic disease. I am telling you right now, you working with me, listening to the podcast, signing up for what we've got going on, you are going to change your life. You're going to change your life inside and out, and you're finally going to feel free. You're finally going to feel free from living for other people's expectations. living for what other people say to you, you're finally going to feel free of trying to do everything the right freaking way and really holding yourself back from life and experience and business and money and love because you're too busy about work and worried about doing it the right way and making mommy and daddy happy and making everyone around you happy, instead of saying, you know what, am I happy? Am I actually happy in my life? Am I actually happy trying to blend in? And again, as a business owner, as somebody with a personal brand, you have to be willing to disrupt people's thinking, to go against the grain, to go against the norm. And you're not going to make fuck you money by blending in. Like, you're just not going to. And scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make money, girl. Like, if I could yell that in your ear, like, scared money don't make money. I need you to tell yourself that every day, every time you're creating content, every time you're talking to people, you're doing sales, you're public speaking, you're doing a podcast, you're writing a blog, you're writing those emails, scared money don't make money. I want you to like replay that over and over in your mind because it's true. Being the good girl is not going to get you further in life. It's not going to make you happier. It's not going to make you more money. And when you're willing to not be the good girl, you're willing to like be authentically you, all you're going to do is attract more people into your life that you genuinely like, that you like to be around, that you like to work with. You're going to attract better love, better friendships, better relationships. I will tell you from an early age, I had a really, really hard time making friends. I had a hard time making friends and I had a hard time keeping friends. And this is for a number of reasons. But I can say one of those reasons is because I'm not afraid to say things. I'm not afraid to like be honest, loving, but honest with people. Number one. Number two, I'm outspoken. I have strong opinions. And again, I'm not afraid to share them. And then number three is that I don't live under my friends. I don't live in my friends' skin. When I say that, what I mean is that I'm an adult, I have a business, I have a husband, and I have children, and those areas of my life come first over anything else. And I'm not living my day-to-day life to make sure that my friends like me, and I'm not living my day-to-day life to like be like, oh my God, we didn't talk today, we didn't talk for a week, do they still like me, do they want to be friends with me, right? And in the past, I've had friendships where they expected that of me. They expected me to like always be talking to them, always be hanging out with them, always be being with them. And now I have adult friends who also have kids and who are successful. And one in general, and in particular that I'm thinking of, I met her through my husband. Her husband and my husband went to college together, played football together, and so we met through our partners. And we've like become best friends, and now we both have 2 kids, and like we have like grown up to, like us 2 couples have grown up together, had kids at the same times, whatever. But she is like my best friend, and she is opinionated, she is honest with me, she will say things to my face. If she's like, hey, you know, I noticed this, like she'll just like straight come to me, right? And I will just come to her. We don't have this like weird energy. It's just like, hey, like straight to each other's faces. But at the end of the day, we like, no, we got each other's back. We love each other. And we could literally not see each other for 6 months and we will pick right back up like we were just together for yesterday, right? I don't need to live under her skin and she doesn't need to live under mine. And it is like that adult level of friendship. But the reason we have that quality of friendship is because of our honesty with each other. It's because we're willing to be open and honest and have hard conversations, and we're willing to say like, we're adults, right? We have busy lives, but at the end of the day, like our friendship's not going anywhere. We don't have to worry about that. And I have now created more friends in my life who are just like that. My operations manager, who I've known since 2016. I've never met her in real life, but I literally feel like she's my soul sister. And now she works on my team and we've worked together for many, many years. And she's the same way. Like we will just say how we feel. Like we'll just talk to each other. We don't have to like live for each other's expectations. And she's now become like one of my best friends and one of my co-coaches who is also my doula. Again, like same level of friendship, and you will attract that in your life when you're willing to not be the good girl, when you're willing to say how you feel, when you're willing to be opinionated, or you're willing to like speak up or be your most authentic self. I'll never forget Taylor, one of my co-coaches who was my doula. She now works on my team and she's just like an amazing human. Like everyone needs a Courtney, a Taylor, and a Holly, like all my friends. Like I feel like everyone needs one of those in their lives. But with Taylor, she was like, I don't trust you if you don't say fuck. Like, I'm attracted to you and your branding because you say fuck, because you cuss, because you're like, just, that's who you are. Like, that attracted her to work with me or to like be friends with me. And I just think it's interesting because there's so many people on the opposite end of the spectrum. But because I'm willing to be exactly who I am, that has attracted people back in my life who love to work with me. So now when I go into coaching calls with 30 women staring at me, waiting for me to coach them, I don't feel uncomfortable. I don't feel like I have to water myself down. I don't feel like I have to try to like fit in and make sure everyone's happy in the room, because I've authentically branded myself here and on social media for people to know exactly who I am and to choose this is or isn't my coach, this is or isn't my person, and then decide from there how much they do or don't want to work with me, because I've been so authentically me. Like, you get what you see, right? There's nothing to hide. But when you're willing to do that, you're going to make better friendships. You're going to have better relationships. I did the same thing with my husband. The second my husband met me, like from the very beginning, this man met me. Like, I'm bringing a child into the situation that I had from a previous marriage. I'm divorced. I went through an abusive relationship. Like, my dirty laundry is aired. There is no room to hide. Plus, if you're online, you can literally see my online brand. You can see the things I say about myself, right? It's funny because I'm like, you will never find dirt on me, because the dirt that you could find on me, I am willing to tell you guys right here on this podcast. If you want the tea, it's here. Like, I'm willing to share it with you because I have nothing to hide, right? And I did this early in my relationship. Like, look, I come from trauma. I lost my dad at an early age. Like, I have these issues. This is what I'm coming into the relationship with. I am self-aware. I am working on them. However, I'm bringing that authentically into our relationship so that he is aware of what he's getting himself into. There's no hiding. That way, when he chooses me, he's authentically choosing the most authentic version of me. He is choosing to be with me at my core because of who I am and not who he is perceiving me to be or who I'm pretending to be. And I can honestly say you will attract in your life better friendships, better relationships, better clients, and more money because you're willing to no longer be the good girl. You're willing to air your own dirty laundry, if we will. And I think so many of you are probably gonna be like, I'm not doing that, right? And I think there's a way to portray yourself and your brand the way that you want. And there's a way to disrupt people's thinking. There's a way to stand in your power, not be the good girl, be authentic, be vulnerable, and still have a private life. Like, there's so many of you here that know next to nothing about my life, next to nothing when it comes to my day-to-day life and what I do in my day-to-day life and who I am when I'm not here on camera, when I'm not podcasting, when I'm not coaching, right? Like, I'm actually very introverted. I like to be alone. I like to be home. I'm a homebody. I like to be to myself. Like, you would not expect that. Like, don't get me wrong. When our friends come over and we do dinner, like, I'm outgoing and I have a great time. But when everyone leaves, I'm ready to like be alone, right? Like, I am definitely an extrovert introvert mix. And so there's a lot of things that people online don't know about me, because I choose to give them what I want. And I want you to remember, when you're building yourself and you're building your brand and you're building your business, that you get to choose how much of yourself goes online, and you get to choose what that looks like. However, building a personal brand will require you to be vulnerable. It will require you to step outside of maybe your comfort zone, to stand in your power, to have boundaries, to no longer be the good girl, to stop being a perfectionism, to stop people pleasing. It will require you to be uncomfortable and to do the scary things and to take risks and invest in yourself and all the things we talked about today. And you get to choose what that looks like. But you also have to decide that you're no longer willing to fit in. You have to stop trying to fit in with everyone here, and you have to be willing to be your own self. Okay? That's number one. So I want to say we are going to open the wait list, our Breadwinner Energy Club. The wait list is open now, but we're going to open up the club to the wait list in just a few weeks. So you're going to want to get on the club wait list. It's down below. The link is down below. Make sure you get on that wait list. You are not going to want to miss it when the club opens. I am like beaming, like I'm so excited. I just cannot wait to share the club with you guys. So make sure that you get on the wait list. The link is down below. You'll have early access to the club when the doors open. You'll get in a week before everyone else, and so you'll get to pick and choose what you want. And then once that week concludes, and your bonuses conclude from being on the wait list, we'll open to the public. But that wait list is open. So go down below, click the link, get on the wait list, come to Instagram, say hello, and don't forget to like on YouTube, leave a review on YouTube. I don't know if you can leave reviews. I think you can subscribe. Leave a review on Spotify or Apple. And as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will chat with you on the next episode.